Evan, welcome to Podcastina.
Galena, Ravina, Podcastina. I'm very excited to be here. New listener, big time fan. It's an honor to be here with your dog.
That is what everyone says when they come here. It is all about him, and I always am saddened for the audio listeners who don't get to, at least if you're listening on audio, just hop onto YouTube for 5 seconds to look at this dog and then hop back off.
Is he in the logo at all?
No, I need to redo that.
He would be great.
Yeah, he would. It's his show.
You could do merch with him.
What are you looking forward to right now?
In life, or what do you mean?
Anywhere.
I'm looking forward to just keep moving forward. I'm at a point in my life where we were talking about this before we started about moving to Austin for comedy and everything. And I've kind of settled into my life, and I'm focused on systems and I'm a very optimized man. I'm focused on systems, and I'm excited to just keep getting to do the things I enjoy creatively every day. And like I feel like the results, I'm not really as results focused anymore, and I'm more just like do the process and show up, and everything else is fun.
I would love to hear more about these systems.
The systems that I have that I'm excited about is, I don't know how you feel about social media, but with social media, especially doing comedy, this is another thing that I think is, we're at a point in comedy where everybody is trying to build their following online, and there's almost an anxiety around that, where everybody is like, I need this to go viral. You don't do what you want to do. Like, this is kind of almost like a thing that's been happening where everybody discusses what kind of content you should be making. You should be doing this. Don't worry about making high quality videos. Just do this. Like, I almost think like, I don't know. Slop is a disrespectful way to say it. Mm-hmm. But like, I feel like everybody has started making content to get followers rather than like making content and creative stuff for the sake of just making it. And that gave me like this feeling of being results driven, which I think is dangerous when you're trying to do something creative. Because if it's just all about numbers, then you're going to start doing things that are for numbers rather than trying to make something the best that it can be. So me being homeschooled and not having good structure and all of that growing up, I wanted to create systems of just like where I don't focus on results at all. I just focus on repetition and like creating things and doing things, and more focused on the process than the result. And then weirdly, I think when you have systems and things like that, you weirdly get those results that you were trying to get without actually, making that the main focus of why you do something, if that makes sense. I don't know.
It does. It makes me, I guess, like feel jealous almost a little bit because I know that that's the correct way to do it, and that's what I want to do, and I want to just make content that I want to make. For the most part, I get to do that. However, it's like I had a series of videos go viral that were me complaining about people who like communism, that they like don't understand communism.
I saw those videos. I liked it. I was like, hell
thanks.
Yeah. I started with Ukraine.
But the pain point for me with that is I don't want to make that kind of content. So I was like annoyed that that's what was popping off, because to me it feels disingenuous. I'm not a person that really speaks on politics. Yeah. It's not really a relevant conversation even, because it's not like there's some like big movement or swing towards that anyways. Yeah. It's just that when that's what went viral, I felt like I needed to feed into it, because we are sadly at this point where like it doesn't even matter what kind of business you have. If you're a dentist, you want like a big Instagram following in order to attract new clients for that. It's like every entrepreneur can't really escape that now, when it's like, when I started this, I just wanted to tell jokes. That's it. And now I can't do that if I don't have certain metrics, because no club is going to hire me.
Yeah. I mean, that is a bummer. That it's a good and a bad thing, because I don't know if things have changed as much as people want to make it seem like it changed online. I feel like, did you ever read the book 1,000 Real Fans or something like that? It was a book about, and it like doesn't apply today. I probably could like apply it with inflation. That if you had 1,000 true fans, you could support yourself off your art. Now I think it's probably like 10 to 20,000.
Yeah, but I would agree with that.
Truthfully, like, do you know Dylan Carlino?
I know of him. I haven't met him yet.
Dylan Carlino, if I was gay, he would be my boyfriend. Like, he might be a little tiring after a while, but like
Tall drink of water, that
yeah,
one.
he's hilarious. Amazing comic. Like, Dylan was someone even, because now he's blown up and he's touring all over the country. I would watch him in like little bar shows that we were on. I would go up to him after. I'm like, it's insane what you do and like how good you are. And he just wasn't, he was still local, but he started doing content that was so particular to him. Like it was really, he has like a segment like if I was a girl, my name would be, and he would just riff and just like it was hilarious. And he built very devout followers because that content reflected exactly who he was, rather than he's just hopping on a trend and dancing and being like, oh, people are talking about this, I'll talk about that. He just like brought people to him, and I think that's like the way to really build. But all that to be said, I think with your podcast and like how good you are at conversations with people, that it just takes more time. But it only takes more time in the sense that it seems like people are getting things much faster, but they're like burning out a lot faster.
Yeah.
And that's where I think, and I say all this like with systems and everything, it's always like a work in progress for me. Like I'm still trying to be like, let me not fall prey to, let me post this kind of video, let me do this, let me be, you see someone else have something and you just go, I want that. But it's just like it seems like people are getting things really fast, but they're just like not holding on to them, and it might not even be like, I bet a lot of the stuff like that, you would think you'd want, you probably wouldn't even really want that level of what that success actually means, if that makes sense.
Well, first off, thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
And it seems like you're kind of doing the same thing too. Like every time I see a video from you, it seems like it's something authentic to you,
Oh,
and it
thank
feels
you.
like your sense of humor.
Yeah.
And I do think that for what it's worth, it is better in the long run, as you're saying, to make content that feels authentic to you and
Yeah.
play the long game with it. Because the other thing that I've seen happen a lot, I'm sure you've seen it too, is the people who do really niche down and just
Yeah.
go in a lane that's working for them and stay in that lane, they do become trapped in that. You get kind
Yeah.
of boxed in. Like,
Yeah.
I knew a gal who popped off for doing like a very specific like golf character. And now
Really?
that's,
Oh, I know. She wears a visor.
yes, Becky Robinson.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like amazing because she has all this success and
Yeah.
she's been able to like flourish financially and all that. But it's like, you kind of watch people that go down that avenue then try to wedge in the fact that they're also just like a stand-up comedian and this
Yeah.
other separate person. And it feels like a tug of war with them to try to get out from under the character and be like, hey, I still have all this other stuff I like to do too. And it's great to get obviously the financial success and the validation of, oh, she's getting hired to come to these like big private parties and getting
Yeah.
fat checks to be this like entitled housewife character.
Yeah.
But like, I would be concerned that in my interests that I would niche towards, that I would get like so sick of that thing. And then like, your audience, if they come to you from that, do they really care about hearing what else you have to say?
Yeah.
Versus if I go this way, and yeah, it's going to take longer. It already has been taking longer,
Mhm.
but I'm like happy to say everyone I talk to on this show, I like really want to talk to.
Yeah.
And it's really a reflection of all of the things that I'm interested in, like
Yeah.
psychology, sociology, just like I talked to a behavioral scientist right before you came here.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I try to like really keep it to things that I care about because I don't want to sit here and like pretend I care about something
Yeah.
because like my audience wants me to only talk to one type of guest.
Yeah. That's like, there's a whole thing happening right now in Austin, I think in comedy in general, is where you're seeing a lot of characters pop up.
Yeah.
Like,
Here, oh my
yeah.
God. And
Yeah.
the Kill Tony character machine.
Yeah. And it's like, it's paying off. And that like seems like it is like it's making, I think, comics who are like at that like point where they're like, I'm not getting booked on a lot of stuff. I want this. I'm not, doing it. They're like, I think a lot of people are just having this moment where they go, do I become a fucking character? They're trying on fucking baking gloves and shit and trying to come up with become a baker on stage and have a catchphrase. And I think, I don't know. I mean, I think that's just going into a weird place where if you go down that character route and people like the shtick and not you,
Mhm.
I feel like they're gonna turn on you one day. I feel like they're as soon as some other character comes along or you do one thing wrong, they're just like, nah, dude, you suck. You're a hacky gimmick, you know? Um,
It's golden handcuffs.
yeah. I say that a lot about a lot of things in Austin with comedy where people think, um, you know, I won't name any places or names or anything, but like a lot of people went through phases where they were really like, oh, I wish I would have got this thing that everybody, some people got. But it really is golden handcuffs because it can it just limits what you're going to end up doing in your trajectory. But I don't know. What do you think? Because you seem like a very organized person. Um, do you think, when you're looking at your career now, are you going, I want to be in this place in 10 years? Or do you look in 5 years? Like, do you have a trajectory of what you want your life to be?
My goal and what I feel deeply in my soul is that I'm like one of the biggest podcasters in the world that just hasn't hit that yet. Like
Whoa,
I really
dude.
authentically feel so good in this position.
Yeah.
And that's not to say that comedy isn't like my fucking baby because it is. And
Mm-hmm.
like I always want to be able to do stand up the way that I want to do it.
Yeah.
But in this career, there's like kind of four avenues to making money, and at the end of the day we live in capitalism and I have to figure out how to like support myself. And if I didn't have to even pay bills, like I wouldn't be doing comedy or podcasting. These to me are kind of how would I describe them? They're like consolation prizes
Yeah.
because what I really want to do is like be on the beach in Costa Rica surfing and then like getting fucked by my hot husband who paid for the whole thing. Like that's really what I would love to do with my life. But because I'm not doing that, I'm like,
Whoa.
what else can I do? Because life is a blip and
Yeah.
I have experienced corporate life and the soul
Mm,
sucking reality that is for me, not to like disparagingly speak on anybody who is living that life and like doing that because we all got to do what we got to do. And some people feel good in those roles, and that's fine
yeah.
too. Like, not everybody needs to make their hobby their career.
Yeah.
It's a very hard path that I wouldn't recommend to people who have found a better alternative that they're
Yeah.
happy with. But because I have lived that life and felt how bad it felt to
Yeah.
me, I'm like, okay, I need to find a way to support myself financially doing something I not only can tolerate, but like love.
It's
And I have found
fulfilling.
this thing and
Yeah.
it's fulfilling. And I'm lucky that I've made some money doing
Yeah.
comedy. So enough to kind of like keep validating me that I should continue on this path.
Yeah.
But in comedy, it's like you either make money being on the road all the time, which I
Mm-hmm.
know is not the right lifestyle for me. I would like to be selectively on the road. I don't want to have to depend on it.
Same.
Podcasting is a different avenue because you can make money with ads, you can make money with
Yeah.
like sponsors and that kind of thing. So I'm like, okay, that's one avenue. Another avenue is like the Hollywood avenue of like acting or selling TV shows, script writing or whatever. And I never felt that
Yeah.
passionately about those things. So I'm like, that's not the avenue. And then I suppose social media, if you're just like a content creator, is like another avenue. But that's it. Like,
Yeah.
unless I'm missing something, those are the ways to make money in this industry. And so for me, I'm like, let me hanker down on podcasting because not only does it feel really good to me and like it delivers so much to me to run this show. Like the people I've gotten to bond with that I otherwise wouldn't get to bond with, like the people I've gotten to meet through it, the response that I've gotten to the show has been so incredibly fulfilling. It's not quite the same feeling or the same dopamine hit as I get when I like have a good set on stage. Like nothing will replace that high,
Yeah.
but I don't want to have to depend on that high for my livelihood.
Yeah. I also think especially at the point, how long have you been doing comedy?
11 years now.
Wow, dude. It shows with your writing. I
Thank
think
you.
you're one of
I
the
appreciate that.
best writers. It I feel like you can start doing something different if you feel this has to happen rather than like I get to do this kind of
Right.
thing. And I think that's it is interesting. I resonate with what you say about like the road and everything like that. I think we're in an age of just creativity and careers in general to where you can't just do whatever you want. People are like saying that like gatekeepers are back and that we're in this like now point.
Who's saying that? That's
Dumb
wrong.
people on the internet, dude. People, yeah.
There's never been less gatekeeping.
I know. And that's what's so cool about it is like you can really like you don't have to do it a certain way. Cause like some people do they crave the old time of stand-up where it was like, I wish I could just tell jokes and go on the road and everything. But I'm like, dude, that sounds like a miserable existence. Like, I really like being balanced and being at home and like with my family and everything like that. But like the idea of having to do the road and it's like, oh, my kids are growing up or something like that, and I'm gone Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then, I get to be with them during the week. But like Monday, I'm exhausted. Then Tuesday and Wednesday, I'm hanging out. But then it's like, oh, I'm leaving Thursday. So like the idea of having a podcast is being balanced and kind of in control your own destiny is the way I look at it.
So I'll ask you the same question. Do you look out into like 5-year, 10-year periods and think about what you want to be doing?
Yeah, I think I look at the future and everything I'm doing of just I want to be able to do the things I want to do or I enjoy doing. But also, I mean, dude, let's just be honest. I had a panic attack when we started this podcast, trauma bonding about fucking life insurance and everything. That was the most crazy experience of my life, by the way. I look at the future and I just want to spend more time with my family and everything like that. And like the more that I get to do the things I enjoy and kill on stage and things like that, the happier I am. And I think we're just in a golden age where you kind of can do whatever you want. And if you're willing to work hard, you can kind of do those things. I feel like I'm doing a self-help podcast, but I feel like I'm just really doing the manosphere of just
that's a good
push
thing.
through.
Yeah. This tends to skew serious, even though it's like I talk to so many comedians. I like to go deep with people. So when they're like willing to be vulnerable with me, I'm always so stoked.
Dude, I mean, I've never been more vulnerable with someone than today, dude. That was
thank you.
Insane.
Well, I would love to know if you're willing to share, like, what is dad life like? Is it what you expected it to be?
It's insane. It's the greatest thing in the world. Being a dad is the coolest thing I've ever done. I mean, you have a dog, so you get how it is.
Is it the same? Can you speak to it?
I have
is
a
having
dog.
a kid the same as having a dog?
I have a dog and a kid, and I would kill my dog so fast. No, I'm just kidding. No, it is amazing. Having a dog is great, though. They're completely different loves. Like, I still have such a good bond with my dog. Like, my favorite thing at night, I'm sorry if my pigeon, I don't know how professional I'm supposed to be here, but.
Not at all.
Okay, we're on a couch. I still have moments where, like, I go out on the porch, like, late night, and I'll sit with my dog. Dogs just give you, like, unconditional love.
They really do.
And I think that, families give you unconditional love. It's kind of conditioned with families.
A little bit, yeah.
But, like, dogs are, like, truly the greatest things we have on the planet. I don't feel the same about cats at all.
Neither
do you
do
like
I.
cats? No.
I think cats are master manipulators.
Yeah.
I think they look down on us and it shows.
Yeah.
Whereas dogs, like, worship the ground we walk on.
Do you think that's natural, that cats, like, is it built into them to manipulate? Because they can't really kill us.
They only learned to meow for a human's benefit.
Is that true?
That is true. Yeah. So they meow to manipulate us. And cats were domesticated roughly 20,000 years after dogs. So that's why they're not nearly as adept to our behavior and to pleasing us, because they're 20,000 years behind dogs as far as like companionship.
Whoa. I also feel they're in a different box than as far as companions go. I feel like dogs and humans trauma bonded.
Yeah, definitely.
Through hard times. I feel like cats are like the second wife that like wasn't there during the struggle. Like you didn't build anything with a cat. They were like, They just kind of walked into an already established life.
Yeah.
They weren't with us in the trenches, dude, the cats.
That's accurate.
Yeah. What do you think about the people who have monkeys?
I think they should seek help.
Yeah, monkeys.
Better help, sponsor me.
Yeah. I feel like monkeys are, like when you see people with monkeys with like diapers on, that does seem like a mental illness to me. I don't know. I don't want the monkey community to come after me, dude.
I think this is interesting because I have only been in Texas 6 months now, and I'm getting to know all the Texas isms as
Yeah.
I move through life here. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is a state where they do allow monkeys to
Oh,
be pets,
100%.
but you're not even allowed to have them as pets most places, which I think is an absolutely fair and necessary
Yeah.
regulation.
I think they're too smart. They're too
They're too wild.
You ever go to the zoo and see a gorilla and then you make eye contact and then you feel like guilty?
Yeah.
That happened to me. We went to San Antonio and they have like a new gorilla exhibit, and then you get in and you're all excited and you're looking at him, and then all of a sudden you make eye contact and you're just like, ah. Like I don't know. It just feels like you're not supposed to be doing that.
Yeah, it's so strange. The first time, like the only time so far that I drove to Houston from here, I passed, I guess it was a farm or a ranch, had like probably 100 zebras. And I'm like, what are zebras doing in Texas?
Yeah.
And then there was that whole loose giraffe not too long ago.
Oh, yeah. I heard about that.
Yeah, they found her or him.
Was it from someone's private collection or was it from a zoo?
I think it was someone's private collection, which is like the wildest. I mean, don't quote me on that, but the fact that that's even an option is for people to have like what Texas is the fucking Wild West.
Yeah.
It really is. The amount of wildlife that I've seen, I'm up to 3 snakes in the wild in 6 months that
Really?
I've seen. Not even in the wild. At this building, I have seen 3 snakes, like big snakes. I've seen a turkey vulture.
Oh, yeah.
Never saw one of those in person before.
Really?
And then
They're all over the place.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
insane how many big birds there are here. I've seen 2 giant like barn owls.
Yeah.
I saw one snatch up a baby rabbit. That was devastating. I was nannying. I was
Oh,
like walking the
no.
child that I watch. We had stopped to watch this cute little bunny. And then and I'm so glad that the kid didn't see this because we had like started walking away and I started like pushing his bicycle. And then this giant owl, like freaking 5-foot wingspan, is flying right by us to the point where I kind of went like this over the kid because I didn't know what this owl was going for.
Oh, my
And it
God.
swooped right by us and grabbed the bunny.
Dude, how would you ever explain that to a parent that their kid
Got
Dude,
attacked by a fucking owl.
your kid was last seen heading west? Dude. Yeah, I have this feeling. I have this like with Texas. I have this feeling that people like it wasn't supposed to be a place where people settled.
I feel like that too.
Like it feels like Texas is trying to like get rid, like it's in a constant battle to like push back against what's happening. Like,
yeah.
because I mean, even where I live in Kyle, like it just feels like you're not supposed to be there. Like they put grass down and all this stuff, but like all the native plants are like trying to push through. There's wild animals that still run, like there's little coyotes and everything that I'm like, they used to live here first. Like, they're not a nuisance. We're the nuisance,
Yeah.
you know? But I mean, there is like just crazy history of Texas with even like the Native Americans and just how harsh it is to live here. Whenever it storms in Texas, I realize like how soft we are as like humans compared to like what people had to deal with.
Yeah.
Like with the elements and everything of just like, I mean, it gets so hot in Texas. I couldn't imagine being in like a teepee for all of it, you know?
I think about that too. I go, oh, we weren't supposed to be here. People are not supposed to live in this type of climate.
Yeah. Can I ask you questions? Is
Yeah.
that possible? You were born in Ukraine. I don't know if you've talked about this already on the pod a lot about Ukraine is a pretty war-torn country.
Yeah.
Has it always been kind of at odds and kind of not been doing well
I think
in recent history?
in recent history, I mean, they first started having issues in recent history in 2014 with Crimea.
Yeah.
So that was like the first big thing that happened before this war, which now has been going for like 4 years. So I don't know when. It seems like it's not even talked about now because like Gaza
Everybody,
became
yeah.
the cool thing once that started. Not cool, but you know, it became like
Yeah.
the thing that got all the headlines. So nobody even talks about Ukraine anymore.
Do you
And I
get jealous? Like, do you get upset about that?
I don't because I had to turn my attention away from it very quickly after the conflict started. I just had to like kind of compartmentalize it because it's upsetting. And then
Yeah.
the building that I grew up in like got bombed.
Oh man.
So that's wild to think of. It
Yeah.
makes me so grateful that I'm here
Yeah.
and I have a lot of maybe animosity is too harsh, but I get annoyed at people who constantly talk about how horrible America is because I'm like, well, you haven't lived anywhere else, so
Well,
you don't understand.
that's where I was leading with the question
Hmm.
was like, do you feel like, yeah, because I feel like that makes you maintain perspective
It absolutely does,
on
and I'm so
life.
grateful for that because
Yeah.
there is so much freedom and so much opportunity here, and
Yeah.
like, yes, this place has its issues for sure. People should be like looking into that and working on ways to alleviate that, but it's still way better than the majority of places on earth that you could live.
Yeah. Do you feel like in America it's going to I almost think America is going to be taken down by itself because we don't have good perspective on what the rest of the world is.
I would agree.
Um, Not to get all political on this, but yeah, I feel like it's easy to lose sight of like how important borders are and just like very basic or small things to like maintain personal safety, you know? Um, and just feeling like I feel like there's this feeling in America like things can't fall apart. Like no matter what happens, like you don't have like somebody else will keep it going.
Yeah,
But
it's
like
ego. It's not real.
yeah,
It's like delusional to think that these systems are just going to uphold themselves.
yeah, and I feel like if anything, like countries are more than likely to fall apart at some point. And just like we've risen so like quick for being a young country to the point where I'm like, it's gonna pull back. This graph is gonna
Yeah,
dip, and it's gonna
totally.
be. I don't know. I think about the apocalypse a lot.
Yeah. What would you do?
Now, my apocalypse life has changed completely because I'm with family. Before, it was like fun. Like I was like, me and the boys are going out, and we're gonna just do apocalypse stuff. It's The Walking Dead. It's fun. Like because I don't know what apocalypse is gonna happen, but now it's different. Now it's like, fuck, I have to take care of a family during the apocalypse while all my friends get to go out. Just have fun raiding villages. I have to be home, making sure no one takes my family. It's a completely different game I'm playing now.
Would you be a bunker guy?
Yeah, I'd have to be a bunker guy. I'm a bunker guy right now, no matter what. I have like extra security latches on the doors and everything, guns like hidden in different places.
That's great. How
Yeah.
very Texas of you.
Yeah. That's what's funny is because I moved from California and a lot of places were just, or like people when I was leaving, they were like, turn Texas blue and like winking and all this stuff. And I was like, dude, I'm going to be a problem when I get there. They're going to want me to like, yeah, I'm pretty Texas in that sense.
What people don't realize is there's way more Republicans in California than there are here just because of the number of people.
Oh, shit. I've never thought about that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I don't think California will ever turn red just
Yeah.
because the population in the cities is that much
Yeah.
more. But the population, like, it's the most populous state. So there's way
Yeah.
more Republicans there than here.
That's fascinating.
Because the Republicans here is like you have a county of 12 people, 10 of them are Republicans. Obviously, it's
Yeah.
a Republican county.
Yeah. Do you have a plan for the apocalypse?
I mean, I definitely am behind like on my gun purchasing.
Yeah.
I only just got into guns like a year ago. I
Really?
wasn't anti-gun, but I had never shot one.
Yeah.
And then I got taken to a couple shooting ranges, and then I was like, I love this.
It's exhilarating.
It is exhilarating. So I think that's the plan is just get
Get
good
guns.
at guns
Yeah.
and being of
That
use.
that's the thing. Yeah. I think just having skill sets. They're gonna
You
need
have to have
podcasts
skills. Yeah.
in the apocalypse. That would be crazy if the only thing that was like being broadcast were just people found a way just to keep podcasts
Just me and Joe
going.
Rogan.
Yeah, you and Joe, dude, just keeping the apocalypse podcast going.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think about that too when you start thinking about certain like art forms and like if you watch Game of I think we talked about this. You watch
Yeah.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I like think about how there was only like a few like there was no open mics during. I mean, maybe there were. I bet
For
there
the
actually were.
jesters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like for jesters and musicians, like there kind of I guess was like a music circuit of just like the court, but there was no like alt jesters. Like I just don't know. Like I always think about that like when there becomes way too many entertainers versus other things, like I feel like that's when like society is like at a weird tipping point where we're just like, yeah, everybody's doing a leisure activity. No one's doing electrical right now.
Yeah.
We're losing all the masons.
We need the masons, but we need craft. back. We need
Yeah.
like work with your hands stuff back
Yeah.
because I think a lot of people's anxieties and depression and all the different neurodivergence that people will hang their whole personality on now, you would be too busy to experience your own ADHD if you had to like fucking harvest your food.
Yeah. I feel like there's a lot of part of like anxiety like being on the rise and like I think it's been on the rise for a while now. And I feel like it's on the rise with the rise of technology and just the lack of like social interactions.
Yeah.
Like the more people have like withdrew into like being a hermit and having like experiences through their phone and just, at home. Cause like we go out and we perform and we're like in a very like actual live environment. But I feel like most people are just home and they're just kind of doing things on the phone. And then when you like your job, like when you work remotely and you don't really do anything, it's just all through a computer, you don't really feel like you have a real hard skill set.
It's true because you don't. And then on top of that, life has never been easier and you don't have to go
Yeah.
out for your food. You can have your groceries delivered, you can have DoorDash delivered. And it's when we go against, I think there's a term for it and I don't know the term, but like nature always wins, right?
Mm.
And that kind of lifestyle is too against nature. Our brain
Mm.
is literally dissolved.
Our
Our
brains
brain
are dissolving,
our brain is
literally.
dissolving from scrolling too much. But besides that, our brain is designed to problem solve.
Yeah.
Like those are the mechanics of it. And just because our life has evolved doesn't mean our actual physical brain has evolved.
Yeah.
So when you're not doing any problem solving at all, of course you're going to be fucking anxious because you're literally not doing. It's like if you tried to drive your car in a fucking lake. Like it's designed to drive on the road, not in a
Yeah.
lake.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so. I grew up doing construction. My dad was a contractor. I started doing construction when I was 7 years old.
Oh
And
wow.
like, yeah. So like I was always doing I hated it when I got into like high school and college. Like I just wanted to do other things. But now, like I've done so many home projects and like things, and it's like the most satisfying thing ever. And just be able to do certain like even just like knowing what certain things take so you don't feel like you're getting taken advantage of when
Mhm.
something breaks or something happens. Because I mean, I just feel like it's extremely like gratifying to like paint a room.
Oh, I bet.
You like finish it, you get all done, you just go look at it, dude. I work in my garden all the time, dude. I'm
Ugh.
just a nice little Asian man. I have flowers. My wife and I, we have flowers, dude. We went out last night. We just looked at all the growth of the
That's
flowers.
so cool.
It's the most satisfying. I'm becoming a very simple person, and it
You're
feels.
supposed to. You're returning to nature.
I think honestly, I think that's why I feel very grounded in my life. Except when I had to buy life insurance, then I felt like a crap squirrel my whole life, and I didn't even realize it. I feel so grounded in the sense of like I just know what my purpose is at this moment, which is a very weird place because I feel like, I mean, I'm 38, so like it's a very new thing of just feeling that way. I'll be like, oh, I'm just gonna like that's what I say with the systems and everything. It's just like, oh, I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing because I have all like the important things taken care of. But I feel like for younger people especially and just like I feel like we're always in a state of like what the fuck am I going to do with my life. And that's the only thing with like the internet and there's like too much technology is like there's too many options to do too many different things, so then you end up doing none of them. So then you're like your need to feel fulfilled or like do something is just like constantly making you feel anxiety and stress, and but because you're just like I don't know what to fucking do with this, you know. I don't know if that makes sense. This is a weird podcast.
No, it makes perfect sense because I think to like the you getting gratification from like painting a room and looking at it. I mounted that mirror, that like heavy ass mirror myself. I anchored it to the wall.
Oh heck yeah.
And I was so stoked on that. And it's like a couple of things. It's like, first of all, I'm problem solving. So, like we talked about, there's that like fucking dopamine rush of, oh, I fixed a problem. I didn't get taken advantage of.
Yeah.
You know, I probably would have had to pay like $150 if I asked like a TaskRabbit to do it or something.
Yeah.
And then
It looks level.
I heard thank you. It is level. I have a little, I have a little leveler measuring thing and a little bit of OCD. So everything in here is very level, all the artwork and everything. CJ Landry had a really funny joke the other night. He was talking about a plumber coming over and how he felt cucked by the plumber. And so that's like the other thing is I think particularly if like a man doesn't know how to do stuff around a
Yeah.
house, it's gonna then add this kind of layer of like, well, I'm supposed to know how to do this thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like it's good. I feel like it's the most satisfying thing for a guy to like just have certain skills that guys traditionally have. I don't know what's happening. I'm so glad I'm not like in the dating world, and I haven't been for a long time. But I feel like guys have been in this weird limbo state where they don't know what they're supposed to do. They don't know what values or skills are actually attractive to women.
Honestly, like being able to do shit around the house is huge.
Really?
It really is. Well, as maybe for me because like I'm 37 and I'm trying to like have
Yeah.
be normal and have
Yeah.
like I shouldn't use the word normal because everybody has their own version of normal, but to me like as someone that wants a family and wants to settle down, that's attractive to me for someone to
Yeah.
like have household skills.
Mm.
And I also grew up with men that can do stuff. Like my grandpa's a
Yeah.
mechanic.
Oh,
He
wow,
taught
yeah.
me to change my oil when I was really young, so I like kind of associate things like that. I like I don't wanna say look down on because that's harsh, but, like, if I know more about changing oil than, like, a guy I'm dating, I kinda wanna be like, "Hey, you should learn to do that. That's a pretty basic skill."
Yeah. That's something with raising a girl. That's one thing. So we have one girl, and we want more kids. But having a girl, there's like this. It's the greatest thing in the world. Having a girl, and I'm sure having a boy is great. Maybe I'll experience it one day. But the job is, in my sense, that I just go, well, I'm going to try to be. It's also made me a better person. I feel like I'm at least trying to be a better person because I just go, because everything that you hear is not like you need to do this, you need to do that. Like the particulars don't matter. But like if you can just be a good person and be reliable and be, like good with your word
Mhm.
and just like strong and like just be an actual man, then you don't have to worry. At least that's the goal. I'm sure there's plenty of stuff I have to worry about, but that she's gonna like end up with the wrong person.
Right, but
Like they like say you model who your daughter
I
is
was just
gonna.
gonna say that, you literally do. Yeah.
And do you feel that way?
1,000%.
Really?
Yeah.
Good to know.
Because I feel like I didn't have, good modeling of, like, a healthy marriage growing up because my parents
Mm,
got divorced at a young age and,
mm,
like, they really didn't get along ever.
yeah.
So that's, like, a thing where I kind of not resent because I'm so happy that they didn't stay together because they, like, hated each other so
Yeah.
much, but I'm like, "Oh, damn, I really didn't get to see what I believe to be, like, a healthy, functional marriage until I became an adult and saw it modeled in, like, families that I would nanny for or friends who I would, make who
Yeah.
were married and got to, like, kinda at least see it peripherally that way, but I certainly didn't grow up with it, and I
Yeah.
think it added a layer of complexity to how I acted in my relationships.
Yeah. Interesting.
Modeling's huge. It's a
Yeah.
big deal.
I think it goes back to the systems thing, dude. You
It
just
totally does.
I think so being so structured and spreadsheets and everything, do you feel like do you get in the weeds of things where you feel like you're getting too focused on things that aren't ROI, or are you able to be like constantly adjusting?
I used to.
Yeah.
I used to just consider it part of my identity that I was like doing these. Before we started recording, I told you I did 365 sets my first year as a
Yeah.
comedian. That was because in the back of my head somewhere, I thought someone was going to like ask me.
Oh, really?
I literally thought someone was going to be like, "Well, how many sets did you do your first year?" And I wanted to have some like ego inflating statistic, like
Yeah.
baseball card statistic about
Yeah.
myself because to me my value and my identity laid in how productive am I? How much am I getting done?
Mm.
Like how many boxes am I checking?
Yeah.
As opposed to now I've like really chilled the fuck out about it and
Yeah.
since I've unpacked like, oh, this is my identity regardless of like
Yeah.
how many boxes get checked and how many
Yeah.
things I get done in a day. It's like I'm still this very productive person because that's what everyone reflects back to me and I don't have to keep doing these like weird gymnastics to prove it.
Yeah.
So now I can chill out about it, but man was there like a period where I felt like I was doing all the optimization shit like before it was cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now I'm like, it's kind of not that cool.
Yeah. Um, Are you able to turn it all off? Like, do you chill?
I do chill, but it
Yeah.
took a long time for me to be okay with chilling.
What does like a chill night look like for you?
A chill night looks like ripping some weed
Oh, hell yeah.
and sitting on this couch and like watching reality TV and hanging out with him
Really?
and like having some snacks. Yeah, it's really, really simple. I really like if I could chill in the sense of like money isn't a a factor chill,
Mhm.
like I'm on the beach surfing for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Do you surf
That's
a lot?
I surfed a decent amount when I was in LA.
Oh, hell yeah.
And then I went to Costa Rica a couple times, and one of those times was for surfing camp
Oh,
to
that's
like get
awesome.
better at it.
Yeah.
I suck at it, and I
Yeah.
still suck at it post surf camp too. But I love it so much, and it was actually kind of the first thing in my life that I started doing that it felt okay to suck at
Mm.
because I think when you're trying to do the things that you enjoy for fun as a job, the way that I do with like comedy and podcasting,
Yeah.
it's like unacceptable to suck at it. But then
Mm.
picking up like a hobby that I'm not good at, like pickleball, I was into for a little while, like the surfing, it's nice. It's very freeing for me to be able to have a thing that I am free to suck at and still get enjoyment out of.
Yeah. I used to surf every day when I lived in Puerto Rico.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, I lived right on the beach, and I was going to nursing school. So I'd go to nursing school at night, and then during the day, I would just go surf. Puerto Rico it showed me a lot how America doesn't chill at all.
Yeah.
Like it just every weekend, everybody's out at the beach. Everybody's like listening to music, and you just hang out all day. Yeah, so surfing that's one thing that I do miss living out here. I don't know if you've been to the coast of Texas, but
No, not yet.
looks like the Loch Ness monster. Dude, it's not. That's not a beach, dude. It's insane.
That's what people are saying. They're like, go to Galveston. And I'm like, nah, I don't know if the Gulf of America is going to cut it for me.
Yeah, we went to Galveston. I think it was Galveston.
Hmm.
Do you know it's really haunted there? Do you believe in ghosts?
Maybe, but I didn't know about all this.
Yeah, there was. I think it was Galveston. Because that's like the little island, right?
Hmm.
There was like an orphanage. My wife and I, we went there. We had to put our old dog down. R.I.P. Beowulf. Maybe in hell. I don't know. We had to put our dog down, and then we went on a grief trip. We were like, we got to get out of the house, dude. So we went to Galveston. It was like the only place. We're like, well, let's go to the beach. And then we got there, and we're like, well, this is sad, dude. It's terrible. It's so dark. But we were walking around and like underneath the pier and everything, and it was real spooky. And we were just like, what's happening here? Like, why do we feel like we're being followed? Like, it was just real weird vibes. And then we went to this place that had all this like signage of what happened. There was like a hurricane that went through Galveston, and it was without power, and like no one knew that it was hit by the hurricane for like 6 or 7 days. And there was orphanages that got wiped out.
Oh, shit.
And there was like the most brutal stories that you could hear about these poor orphans and the sisters that were like, they were like tying all the kids like in a line and like trying to make it through. There was like hundreds of deaths from this hurricane. And they're all just like the ghosts of those people are. It's like one of the most haunted places in America.
That's really cool. I might be into that. Like, that might be the vibe for Halloween. This will be my first Halloween in Texas.
Little Galveston trip for Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely spooky. Did you ever watch that season of American Horror Story with it was like in some coastal city?
Mm-mm.
No. It had those vibes.
I'm afraid of, I can't watch like horror movies or
Really?
horror shows. Yeah.
Did it keep you up at night?
Yeah. Even the like goofy ones.
Really?
Even the weird, like, Michael Myers and stuff. I've seen a few of them,
Mm.
but then it just really makes me, I don't like what it does to my brain.
Dude, as I've gotten older, I've been less and less able to watch scary movies.
Hmm.
They've also gotten really into like the contortion genre of scary movies.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Where
It freaks me
bodies
out.
do weird things.
Yeah.
And like, there was like I forgot, it was called like Mother or something. I saw a clip on Instagram. There should be like trigger warnings
I
with
know.
like some of these scary movies, dude. But yeah, like I got scared, and that's what's crazy about being a father and a husband is it's scared. Like it's crazy to wake up in the middle of the night and be worried about ghosts. That's a very weird fear to have. Be like, this isn't even real.
So you believe in them?
I don't know.
Mm.
I believe in them when I gotta go to the bathroom in the middle of the
Yeah,
night.
yeah.
I wake up and I'm just like, well, it could be possible.
That's why I
you
have
know?
those little, like, the mushroom lights.
Is that for the ghosts to keep them
Yeah,
away?
it's for the ghosts.
Ghosts just come
Even
out
though
and they're
this
like,
building's like 6 years old.
yeah. That's what's cool about being, because I thought about this with our house, because it was a new build. So if I die in the house, like there's a chance I could haunt it. I don't know, because no one's ever died there before.
Yeah.
So
Would you want to?
would I want to haunt it?
Yeah.
Maybe for a couple years. I would haunt something if it was like I could leave after I had my fill. Because like that's like the sad thing about ghosts is like, are you trapped there? Because if that's the catch, it's like, yeah, it's fun. You can haunt for like 10 years. But then you're like a 50, 100 years. You don't even like, you don't understand these people anymore. They're all on just VR in 100 years and just like fat blobs that are just tethered into fast food.
The idea of like a ghost trying to figure out AI and NFTs. You're like, woo, and then you get fucking your Indian burial ground gets covered by a fucking data server.
Yeah. That's what's crazy is I forgot their name on Instagram. Have you seen those videos where it's like, you could not live with your insecurities? Do you know what I'm talking about? And it's like
No.
there's these insane AI videos of just the most gluttonous, futuristic version of ourselves where they're just like almost hard to look at, but it's like a path that we could go as like a species if we don't like have discipline with AI, with entertainment, everything. It's just the most like grotesque versions of ourselves that are just like overblown blimps and like giant lip filler, but also just like tubes coming in for our food and everything, and just dopamine. It's crazy.
Do you do anything to try to like circumvent how much time you spend on your phone? Although I'm sure you're busy with like a kid, maybe you don't get to scroll as much as you used to anyway.
No, I have the baby scroll. No, we're pretty good. I keep my phone out of the room when I go to bed. So like there's
Smart.
a point where I just put it on the counter and then I just go in the room. And then I keep social media only on an iPad at home.
Smart.
Cause dude, I have that demon in me that I'll scroll. There's times where I'll install it back on my phone to like post, and then I'll sit there, and then I enjoy it. I really like it, and then I just go, this is terrible. I just hate who I am after like 20, 30 minutes. But yeah, I'll just delete it, and then because I really do think, going back to like the first thing about the content that everybody else is doing, I don't think it's good to look at what other people are necessarily doing.
Mm-hmm.
You can get inspired by it, but at the same time, I just go, it's not going to help you if you want to create, or you want to make something different or original, you know? Do you have any hacks or things that you do?
No, I wish I did. And it sounds like you're actually pretty far on the spectrum of like discipline with it, because not having it on your phone
Yeah,
and then not scrolling on your phone in bed is like way more than most people are doing.
I'm trying, dude.
It's way more than I'm doing.
Dude, I mean, at the same time, I'll also bring my phone in the shower if I'm watching a YouTube video, dude, and I'll just like watch it while I'm sudsing up.
But then at least you're watching something. I think it's different if you're watching something, especially if it's like a piece of entertaining content, if it's like a movie or a
Yeah.
documentary or something, or like a how-to or whatever. That to me feels like a add versus subtract.
Mm,
But I feel like I'm watching a lot of subtract
yeah.
content.
It's weird that I've entered a stage where I'm just like, watching an older movie feels like I'm doing something good. Because I'm just like, oh, I'm so untethered right now.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's still just a movie, you know?
Would you consider yourself like a movie snob?
Not a movie snob. I don't know enough about movies to be a movie snob. I like stuff, like I can talk about movies, and I like certain like lighting and styles, but like I don't watch film noir. I'll try to watch some Korean movies, but like, dude, my favorite movie is Jurassic Park. Rest in peace, Dr. Grant. He died yesterday.
Oh.
Yeah, R.I.P. to the legend. That was actually the first movie that ever scared me, was Jurassic Park.
I remember Jurassic Park scaring me when I was a kid, and then I haven't watched any of them as an adult.
The original is great. The book is phenomenal. But I slept with a lamp in my closet as a little kid the night I saw Jurassic Park.
Aw.
Yeah, I literally thought, and I thought I was like, every time you would like move the lamp, it would cast a new shadow. So I would think like things were moving. Dude, I was a dumb homeschool kid, dude.
Were you an only child?
No, I have 3 siblings. I'm the youngest though, and we were all homeschooled. Um, Homeschooling is crazy. I think this is why I am so systems oriented now, because I see the value in how much you can do if you can just like, I don't know what the word would be, if you can lasso in like free thinking in a weird way. Like that's the one thing that I do. I don't know if you asked me this earlier about homeschooling. We were getting into that with having a kid and everything. I think if you homeschool and you do it in a right way where you give your kid all the tools, they don't get necessarily like brainwashed by regular schools. Um, it just has to be done in a certain kind of way. I feel like you have to be really intentional if you're going to homeschool. And I don't know, I just like, would you ever homeschool your kids?
I don't trust myself to be good
Yeah.
at teaching.
Yeah.
I don't see myself being like, I mean, I don't even think I could fucking do like 4th grade math right now, if
What's
I'm honest with you.
insane
That's
though
what scares me.
is you're so organized and so on top of things. I feel like you would be able to teach,
I would have to
especially
relearn
little
certain
kids.
things.
Yeah.
Little kids I could handle, and especially because I've been working with kids, and
Yeah.
so I think I could handle the basics,
Yeah.
and just if someone were to give me, I guess, the literature, the materials, and be like, okay, these are the history lessons that you have to do at grade 1, grade
Yeah.
2, like English class, whatever, I could get through it.
Yeah.
But I don't trust myself. Like, it's crazy. I got a business degree and they made me do calculus to get my degree,
Huh.
and I had to have tutors or I was
Oh
not going to
wow.
pass.
I
So there's
mean,
just certain things that are like just blind spots in my knowledge that are simply not like I don't think that's ever going to be a skill for me. And that's okay cuz there's other people who are better at it. I'm happy to tap them in.
yeah. I wonder if in the future homeschooling kids is going to be kind of like the gig economy, where you can just Uber a history teacher over
Probably.
and just be like, dude, teach.
Which would be cool cuz I think there's more value
Mm.
in like if I were to homeschool, I would put an emphasis on teaching economics and
Yeah.
teaching fiscal responsibilities and budgeting and things that like I
Yeah.
didn't get in my regular public school
Yeah.
education. I think teaching emotional regulation is huge and they don't
Yeah.
do that in schools, which I think is fucking gnarly. I
Yeah.
think just like teaching communication skills and stuff. I look at the gaps in my own education and I go, I almost get conspiratorial where I'm
Yeah.
like, did they not teach us about car loans because the powers that be want us
Yeah.
to fuck up and like get the wrong car loans and
Yeah.
pay them more money? That's how I
Yeah.
feel.
I think that, I mean, it is easy to think that, especially when you start hearing more things about why the government has done certain things. And it does kind of go against any idea of like free thinking, kind of building your own life and world where you don't need the government as much. Like, that's the thing is, I feel like if you just teach, like, you should teach kids like critical thinking skills and problem solving. I feel like that's like 90% of it is if you can just think critically about problems, like that should be most of what education should be. But there was like so much stuff where you're just like, this was all filler. Like,
Right.
I think 80% of the time spent in school is just filling time till parents get off work.
Yeah.
And then it's like training kids to be like, yeah, you might hate this, but you have to do this and you have to be there for 8 hours. And then it's
Yeah.
like you
It's
get out
setting
of
you up to be a
school
cog.
and then, yeah, you get out of it and then you go, well, now you can go do this other thing you hate for 8 hours. And then AI is going to replace all of it. And then you're just like, well, I don't know what to do now. And then our world just falls apart, dude. And we're back in the apocalypse, dude.
There's certain things that I think people should like know the basics. I mean, I see those street interviews where it's like embarrassing if someone can't tell you like how many states there are
Yeah.
or you know how many senators there are. It's like you should know those types of basics.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I don't need to know the entire history of like the French Canadian War or whatever the fuck. It's like I can Google
Yeah. Yeah, there was quite a bit of stuff with wars that I learned that I'm just like, I'm never going to use that.
that.
I think loans and credit cards, dude, I still every 5 years will still have to like break down how credit card interest works.
Yeah.
Because it's like a daily accrue interest is different than if you just, I think they make it confusing on purpose.
I know they do. They don't want us to know that stuff because they could just, it's the way that like taxes are and the joke about how, like, "Oh, they know how much you owe, but they make you figure it out, and if you're wrong, you go to jail." Like,
Yeah.
just tell me what I owe.
Yeah. It's pretty insane. That is pretty scary because I have my own business. So when I do my taxes, I have to like make sure everything's accounted for. But then I also have like a ton of write offs and like I do it. I'm not just going to give them
Of course.
everything.
Yeah.
But it's also crazy that they have it and they're just like, okay, we're going to see if you do this right. Because if not, we're going to get prison labor out of you,
Yeah.
which is a whole nother crazy thing. Um, yeah, it's weird. The entire like system of education, just our entire system is weird. And I don't know if other countries are like this completely. I don't know enough about the world to really see if this is just the trajectory that all countries go. I do sometimes think about like older countries like China and communism, and Russia and everything, where it almost seems like the older a country is, for it to work completely, they start going towards communism.
Mhm.
And it's like, that's a very weird thing to think about because, like, America does feel like it's kind of like, it is an idea. It is an
Mhm.
idea of just like liberty and you can, the American dream and all this stuff. But it's like, how long is this sustained if it's also so easily manipulated by politicians and these things that happen when everybody else is just busy trying to make money to survive, This got weirdly serious. I apologize, too. This has been the
That's
weirdest podcast in my life.
good, it's been memorable then.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's my one complaint, I guess, my biggest complaint with, like, American culture
Mm.
and the difference between certain nations and here is that because individualism is, like, the star of the show here, right?
Mm.
Everyone is taught that, like, they're the main character here, and you're not, really brought up to think that much about your community.
Yeah.
Unless you're in, I guess, unless you're on like a sports team or you
Yeah.
belong to like a church or a club or whatever. If you don't have like strong community systems
Yeah.
and you grow up with this main character syndrome, I think it like turns you into an asshole. Because I keep hearing from people that like go to Japan how clean and nice all
Yeah.
the public transportation is, how no one's loud on their subways. And I think I'm like, well, there's the blind spot in American culture where some people just become so egotistical that they don't worry about their fellow man, and then that is detrimental to society. So
Yeah.
that's like a thing that I would change is there needs to be more consideration for like your neighbor here.
Yeah. How do you think we do that?
That's a really great question.
Because I do think about that all the time because having a family now, like there's certain things that like I'm more aware of that I wasn't necessarily before, but like the importance of community and like being in a neighborhood that has kids.
Mhm.
I have good neighbors, I know everybody. And then also I remember when we lived there before having a kid, someone drove by really fast and our neighbor was like, "What are you doing?"
Mhm.
She's from Wisconsin, dude. And I was just like weird, like why do you care about that? But then now having a kid, I go, dude, why would you drive that fast? I was eyeballing some lady driving today when I had
Mhm.
my baby out. But like that's like a very scary thing is because it turns dangerous when we're
Right.
not like community focused. It's so easy to. I also think we're like in a weird place of where we're not very good as a country at having disagreements. I know
Oh
that's,
my god, the worst.
I know it's not like a groundbreaking thing. We're not good together. We argue a lot, dude. But like we're not very good at it and we're not very good at walking people to the middle of an idea.
Mhm.
We're also not great at giving people grace
Yeah.
if they don't believe something. Like, and I think that goes back to it to where we don't have like community and we don't look at each other as like part of me. Cause that's why I really look at it is like, even with comics, when I like see other comics and everything, I go, this is like another version of me that you have to be good to, you have to try to help, and you just have to be decent in because we're all in this together.
Mhm.
And I feel like if you're just constantly trying to take out of things, then it's not going to be great for the community. It's not going to be great for you. And it's like that just doesn't end well. And I think when you don't see that in other people that when you have disagreements. I feel like that's the most dangerous thing is like politically, like huge things that happen with like Charlie Kirk and like the way people react to tragedy is scary to
Mhm.
me when I start seeing these crazy things happen. And then I go, fuck, it's kind of crazy that people can be so, riled up about something that's truly a tragedy and they can't even see someone else who has different beliefs as just another person that, has parents, has a life, has fears and everything. And it's like, that feels like it's the most dangerous thing is not being able to find common ground with everybody.
Yeah, it's because people don't believe or view society as an ecosystem, and it is.
Mm,
Everything's connected. So, if we shun somebody for something, we don't take the steps to listen to them, or if they're completely wrong, take care of them, like kind
yeah.
of show them the path and include them in things. It's like if you get rid of the proverbial bee in the ecosystem, the whole
Mm,
ecosystem eventually fucking dies because
yeah.
everything is interconnected.
Yeah.
So it's this willingness to just completely excommunicate people for having different beliefs.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah. And especially, I mean, you were in LA. There's like definitely an ecosystem there where you have to say the right things. You have to be
Mhm.
on the right team
Yep.
if you want your livelihood to continue.
But you're never on the right team because you're never left enough for the left.
Yeah.
There's like nothing that you.
Yeah.
I, as a person who thought I was viewed one way, was definitely feeling left out of certain circles that were just a heightened version of that, where I'm like, oh, okay. You
Yeah.
guys think I'm MAGA because I like don't believe in communism?
Yeah. I think, yeah, people also don't even realize. Yeah, that's the other thing is I feel like the education system has like left out the critical thinking to like break down even what communism is
Right.
and what all these different things that people are shouting out that people are. It's strange when you start seeing, and I don't know if we talked about this, but like multi generations in home. I think
Right.
maybe we talked about it before the podcast,
Hmm.
but about how we don't have multi generations living together anymore. So we're not understanding different times.
Yeah, that's a huge part of it is like not understand. That's where I'm like so grateful for my Ukrainian background because I hear people be like, oh, wouldn't it be great if we were in this society where everything was socialist and communist and everything was free? And it's like, babe, nothing is free.
Yeah.
Someone's foot in the bill. There's no
Yeah.
such thing.
Yeah. And that's what's scary is like, that's why I like something, I go back and forth on you have to be involved in like there's like a responsibility of being a person that you have to like at least try to educate yourself and be part of it. But then there's like another side of it where you're like, I don't even want to be connected to this world that's currently happening.
Yeah.
And I want to go live in the hills and like that
I
kind of
have that
thing.
fantasy sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know Big Sur?
Yeah. Beautiful.
Ugh, I do dream of like fucking off and getting off the grid and moving to Big Sur.
Yeah. Sometimes that's what I also wonder too is like how like life is short. That is the one thing with having kids is I've said that 1,000 times. I'm like that new parent that just constantly is like
But you're
whittling
getting these
wood.
revelations. It's nice that you're willing to share them with the people that only have dogs.
Yeah, but life is short because when you I almost feel like the same person from like 21 to like 35. Like I felt kind of like that whole time of being a young adult because like nothing really changed in my responsibility in weird ways.
Hmm.
Like I kind of was just going towards this thing. But then like once you start having kids, like after you're like, I don't even know if it's like 24, birthdays like kind of don't really like a year
Right.
moving doesn't really mean anything. Like
Yeah.
two or
Maybe
three.
like a big one. Maybe at 30,
Yeah,
you're
maybe
probably
at
like,
30,
whoa,
you're
I'm
like,
30.
yeah. But then like when your brand new baby goes from 0 to 1 years old
Hmm.
and then now is like talking, you're seeing all these milestones so fast you just go, shit, this is like moving really fast. And it's like, I think that's what's made me more grounded and like more trying to be in the moment, which I think is like going to the Big Sur thing is I think there is a level of where you kind of have to go, I can't solve all the world's problems and care about every world problem, and I like deserve it as like a person to like kind of also just enjoy my small time here.
Yeah.
And that's what, that is like such a fantasy of just being like, I'm just going to go enjoy the little time that I have in this existence until I'm a ghost and
Can haunt it.
Big Sur would be a beautiful place to haunt.
It would. You're so right.
That actually, it would suck haunting Kyle, Texas. Just haunting the new Buc-ee's out there.
Someone's got to do it. Brand new. It already has a ghost.
That would suck to show up thinking you're going to be the ghost there, and there's like already like 10 ghosts.
Yeah.
You're like,
Well, you guys can haunt the beaver nuggets.
Yeah.
I'm going to haunt the bathing suits with the Buc-ee's logos.
Yeah. They really did corner the market on everything.
Oh my God. I love taking people. It's been so fun taking visitors there because my friends keep coming out here to visit me, and none of these bitches have been to Buc-ee's. And so I keep like driving from here out to, I guess it's the Bastrop one. Is that how you call it?
In New Braunfels?
No, that one's a little further.
In Bastrop?
Yeah, so that one's like the closest one. So I keep like just driving people out there and watching them discover it, and it's so fun.
That really is the closest thing to having a kid, where you get to see the world through their eyes. Is taking your adult friends to Buc-ee's and being like, go in. Yeah. And then they're just like, I'm
like, look at all the flavors of jerky.
Yeah.
Behold.
Yeah, it has a cult following. That is one thing about Texas, is Texas loves Texas.
Oh my God, I've never had a state shove itself down my throat as intensely. Texas never lets you forget that you're in Texas.
Yeah.
And I've never experienced it to where like any Walmart that I walk into, or Target or H-E-B, it's like there's a whole aisle of just Texas merch.
Yeah.
They're like, you need a cutting board the shape of Texas.
Yeah.
You need a frying pan the shape of Texas. That's like, we didn't have Ohio-shaped frying pans when I like grew up.
Yeah, I had this joke when I moved here that if Texas could make tires the shape of the they would have done it. Yeah. Like they probably tried. But I do love it. I do like a state that likes itself rather than like a state that's like ashamed and humiliated of itself, dude. There's a few of those out there.
That's true.
Yeah, no, I like it out here.
Ohio has a lot of embarrassment. California is very proud of itself, but California's proud of itself for things that have nothing to do with California. Like they're geographically California specific things.
Yeah.
But they're not necessarily. With Texas, it's like, yeah, they're obsessed with the shape of it, but they're so obsessed with like it's culture forward.
Yeah.
Where it's like the fucking pickup trucks are so in your face. Every other car here is a damn pickup truck.
Yeah. It's a lot.
It's a lot of that, where it's like that's the culture, versus California. The culture is like the palm trees and the beach and the mountains, and here it's like cowboy boots and how you dress. And
yeah, I do think California has like the best seasons. Totally. The mountains, the ocean, everything is just amazing. It's the most
beautiful state, maybe besides like Hawaii.
Yeah. I think California's amazing. The whole thing of Hollywood is fascinating. The whole hate, because when I moved here, being like a native Californian, and like, I mean, you knew where I grew up in Palmdale. It like wasn't like a beautiful part of California. It was like a rough part. Like we used to battle Compton for like the most crime. That was like our claim to fame. It was like, we beat Compton this year, which isn't like a good thing to beat Compton. But like, there was so much hate for California, especially in Texas. Everybody's like,
don't California my Texas.
Yeah, don't come and take it, or come and take it, whatever they say. But like, I've like tried to figure out what it is about California. And I feel like the things that make California weird is that California is so many transplants because of LA, because of Hollywood. And I mean, there's like the big industries where, there's like, up north, there's wine country and everything. And then there's like aerospace and things like that. But like the biggest thing was like, you go to California for dreams. You go to old Tinseltown, Hollywood, and you make your dreams come true. So you have all these like delusional people from all the other states pouring in and then having success. Like, I think having success in LA, like as an actor, is like the craziest existence. Because you were like playing Peter Pan as a kid growing up, and you're like, you got to be like kind of crazy to be like, I'm going to go be a star. I'm going to go be a movie star. And then to pull it off, then you're just like, dude, I am kind of the man. I kind of am him. And then everybody's like kissing your ass. So you're like, I guess I really am him. I should start commenting on politics and then you convince everybody else, and then you just get this weird world of what California is. And then you get Will Smith slapping Chris Rock, and then
And then getting a standing
and then
ovation.
getting a standing ovation. Like, that's how crazy it is like that will happen. That was like a big moment where I was just like, oh, this place is gone. This is like crazy that this just happened, and everybody was just like, Will Smith is a hero. Yeah, that was a whole crazy saga.
It was. Pomeranians are prone to alopecia.
Oh,
So I was like, oh, this might be a little Jada if I don't take care of this
Dude.
fur.
I don't know what a Pomeranian would look like without hair. That might be terrifying.
Yeah, they look quite rat-like.
Whoa. Is he on not Ozempic? That'd be crazy. Medication for it?
No,
Yeah.
thankfully he doesn't have it, but they're prone to it. Like, you're not supposed to ever shave them because they have this like thick undercoat and it might not grow back,
Oh, really?
and it might trigger the alopecia. So
Whoa.
people will come up to me, of course, in this heat and be like, oh, you should shave them. And I'm like, no, you should not.
Wow, dude. Do people normally shave them?
If they don't know what they're doing,
Yeah.
people will shave them, but it's actually that their fur is designed to insulate them from the heat, so you shouldn't. But I mean, if someone talks shit about him, I would probably also slap them in the face.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, slaps for alopecia. That should be like their 5K.
Yeah.
Slaps for alopecia.
Yeah.
Are you woo-woo?
What do you mean?
Are you like, do you believe in manifesting and spiritual stuff? Because we touched on it with the ghosts, but...
I don't know about manifesting in the sense of like The Secret and all of that. I don't know. I really don't know enough because I like to think about what happens when we die. I wonder about death, about ancestors and all of that stuff. And it's like sometimes that's like, because then I just don't know what the universe is in the sense of like spiritual realm and all of that. I believe that you should manifest in the sense of like, I don't even like using the word. Are you into manifesting?
Mhm.
Okay.
It's okay, but you can be,
No.
tell me your truth.
What I think is that there's a lot of people, the hipsters have ruined the word manifesting. Because
Yeah.
a lot of people, just like in the sense of like, I'm a life coach. There's people that like grifters that jump on that word manifesting. And then now manifesting becomes this thing where people are just like, they don't want to do the work for it. And they're just like, no, if I believe that this is going to happen, but then they're just waiting for it to happen.
Mhm.
And then they try connecting dots that made that happen. But I believe really wholeheartedly in being intentional with what you do. And I believe like even just with like the 5 to 10 year trajectory, I think that could be considered manifesting, where I just go, well, I want to do this. This is my goal. And this is what I want my life to be. And then what I end up doing, whether subconsciously or consciously, is like reverse engineering what it takes to get there. And then I do those actions. Like going back to like systems, I'll always do that where I'll just go, well, this is what I want to do. Realistically, how do I reverse engineer to where I do things daily to make me get closer to that? Because I kind of like going back to like being homeschooled and just like being like, I'm naturally a super unorganized person. Like I'm a wild.
That's surprising. You seem very organized.
Well, it's like that's by design. Like that's by definitely like my wife is like amazingly organized, and I saw the value of how she was. But like, dude, when we first started dating, she's a saint because like I was terrible at closing cabinets. I would leave closed, and I had this like weird thing in my head where I'm like, well, I'm gonna need a bowl again in 12 hours. So I'm just being optimized at this point. But like I just started seeing the value and like the peace of things being. She explained it when that things have a home.
Mhm.
You gotta send things home, and so I got very organized in a sense to where I think everybody has, not to be corny, but like you have your own dragon in your life that you gotta slay. I don't know.
I like that.
Yeah, and everybody's battle is different, and I think mine is harnessing being unorganized and trying to mesh the two of being creative and wild and like free thinking But if I just only did that, then I won't get to where I want to go because I need to have the counter of that to add like the vehicle to actually get me there with it. Um, but as far as woo woo, I do have a playlist on my Spotify that I'll like. I feel like I perform better if I put it on when I'm driving to the show.
Cool. Just like get your mindset right.
Yeah, dude. It starts off with Kanye. La 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 la. Wait till I get my money right. And
Such a hype song.
yeah, it just that's a universal line. Anybody can get behind that.
Yeah.
What about you? You're very woo woo.
I'm very woo-woo. I believe your thoughts create your reality,
Yeah.
and you can control those thoughts or at least catch them when they're bad, try to redirect them, and like your thoughts eventually morph into your beliefs, eventually morph into your identity. The
Mm,
more and more it gets like reaffirmed, it's kind of like cement drying.
yeah.
So if I keep thinking like I'm a loser, nothing good happens to me, that eventually becomes my belief. It
Yeah.
eventually becomes my identity. So in that way I'm very into it
Yeah.
because to me scientifically I'm like of course that's how our brains,
Yeah.
those are the mechanisms of our brains, and you got to start small, and the smallest thing to start with is just like a thought. So I'm
Yeah.
very into trying to catch negative thoughts as they come up, trying to make sure that I nurture positive thoughts, and really make sure that I try to like ingrain in myself that I'm capable of doing the things that
Yeah.
I would like to do. Otherwise, if I don't think I'm capable, if I don't really believe that, like who the fuck am I to actually try any of it?
Yeah. I think that's great. And that goes along like I really like books on like mental performance
Me too.
and like I've read a lot of like sports psychologist books. Cuz I used to box and then I did jiu-jitsu and I used to compete and like coach people also. So like the mental side of everything is kind of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I see value in that in a lot of ways with stand up. Um, and also understanding failure. Like I definitely have um I definitely shed it of like the ego of like I don't want to fail. I don't want to be looked at as I did something wrong or anything like that. But like accepting like I've switched the way I look at things that like I might fail at things, but I'm not gonna quit. And like I look at failing and bombing even and things of just like yeah, like I'm actually gonna get better from this and from these negative things. But I'm completely on the same page of your self talk, of just how important it is to like not like all because my wife is also hard on herself and she can be like, oh, am I being a good mom? Am I doing this? And it's just like how you talk to yourself is so important and always bringing things back to reality because if because I have to tell her dude like my wife is really like the best mom, she truly is. And like if you start questioning am I a good mom and then you move the goalpost of like well now I'm in the question of whether it is rather than looking like objectively and being like dude I'm doing all these things objectively that say I am, then you can just kind of get over into this weird place where now you've like the goalpost is like, am I? And then it's like, well, why am I a bad? And then it's like you can just start. I don't know. It is a fascinating thing that our brain is wired to have almost like I think negative self talk is almost a survival instinct.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
But we got to fight against it.
every goddamn day, dude.
Well, we kind of came full circle.
We did.
Well, Evan Lopez, if people want to learn more about what you're doing, where should they go?
I am Evan Lopez on Instagram, a podcast that's 7 minutes long called 7 Minutes in Evan. And we did go full circle. I'm going to admit something. I don't know. I had a panic attack before this podcast. That was the craziest thing I've ever experienced.
Yeah.
I was looking at life insurance, and I think that's what it was, if I'm being honest.
I mean, that's an incredibly triggering event, and that's not something you do every day, and you shouldn't have to, like, be obsessed with death and then be like, why do I feel weird? Oh, I
Yeah.
talked about my own demise the entire day and did paperwork about it.
And it was the weirdest thing, and I had a panic attack, and and that's so crazy to be here with you, and then just being like, hey, I'm gonna have a panic attack. What's crazy is just be like, hey, I think I'm gonna die real quick. I'll be right back, dude. But
You did great.
This was a very vulnerable podcast, and I feel like it trauma bonded us. And I feel like I'm also from Ukraine now, and I'm gonna start manifesting. But thank you for having me. This has been a great podcast.
Yeah, thank you for doing it. I
Sweet.
appreciate it. And thank you, everybody, for listening. Bye.
If you know somebody that would enjoy this episode, feel free to share it with them. And thank you for listening to Galina Ravina Podcastina, the show where I try to be the person my dog thinks I am. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. See you on the next one.